Week 1 is right around the corner. This Sunday, to be exact. A divisional matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. You want to know how the Falcons can win? Let's talk about it. But before we do that, don't jinx it. Don't be the guy that doesn't like today's video if you think, oh, it doesn't matter. This doesn't mean anything. It doesn't help the Falcons win at all. Well, if the Falcons lose and you didn't like the video, you're probably going to think to yourself, man, I really should have hit that thumbs up icon. So show some support to your Atlanta Falcons and hit that thumbs up button. Let's go to the playmakers for the Falcons. Let's start with this. I've highlighted 5 guys that I believe are going to be the people and the players for the Birds that are going to be leaned upon heavily on offense and defense. Michael Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson, Drake London on the offensive side of the ball, and then, of course, Jessie Bates and Kaden Elliss on the defensive side of the ball. Those are the players that I believe are your true bona fide playmakers that are going to have to step up in order to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they also have some new additions. The rookies, Jalon Walker, Pearce Jr., Billy Bowman at nickel corner. But then, of course, you also went and did some stuff in free agency as well. You got Leonard, Floyd, and Deablo from the Raiders. So there's a lot more to this Falcons defense right now than meets the eye. In fact, for the most part, from what I saw over training camp and the preseason, granted none of the starters really played outside of a couple of rookies, I was really, really happy with what I saw from the Falcons defense. I really was. I thought, for all intents and purposes, that this is going to be a newly identified and new defensive ideology for this 2025 Falcons team. I think when you look at the structuring of what they were able to do in preseason and the offseason, there is clearly a goal, and that is to shore up the defense. I don't think Raheem Morris has any qualms with the offense. I think he's leaving that up to Zach Robinson. I think he says, I have full faith, full confidence in you. If we start off hot and start off fast, we're going to be just fine. Defensively, though, is where they've put their more time and energy, not only in the draft, but in preseason training camp, etc. And last year, if you remember, this Falcons defense wasn't very good. 23rd in total yards allowed per game. Passing yards per game, they were 22nd at 224.5. They were actually a little bit better against the run. They ranked right in the middle, actually top half of the NFL at 15th. So I can't think for any reason that they're going to be worse this year, considering all of the talent that they've brought in this offseason, especially highlighted by your 2 first-round picks, Jalon Walker, Pearce Jr. So which Falcon are you most excited to see play week 1? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm going to say my answer right now is Jalon Walker on defense. Offensively, it's got to be the quarterback. It's got to be MPJ. But let me know in the comment section down below. Let's go with the Bucs playmakers. We got to talk about them for a little bit, okay? Baker, Bucky, Mike Evans, Vita Vea, and Levante David. Those are kind of like your heavy hitters, especially Baker, Bucky, and Mike Evans. They also have some new additions, nothing nearly as talented, in my opinion, as what the Falcons brought in, but they did draft Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, Jacob Parrish, the cornerback from Kansas State, and Hassan Reddick in free agency. But I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not worried about Tampa Bay's defense. It's the offense that gives me some pause, because last year, they were really good. 3rd in total yards per game, 3rd in passing yards per game, and in rushing yards per game, they were 4th. Bucky Irving is a hell of a talented player. So you're going to have to not only stop Baker and this passing attack, but you're also going to have to stop Bucky Irving, who has proven that he is a really, really solid. His rookie season was unbelievable. However, I'm not here to glaze the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's not what we do. We got to give some perspective. They were good last year, yes. But Tampa lost Liam Cohen to the Jaguars. You lose a really, really good offensive coordinator to become a head coach, a lot can happen in an entire season. So maybe there's something that doesn't gel between Baker Mayfield, their new offensive coordinator, Mike Evans, etc. Maybe this is the opportunity for the Atlanta Falcons to go out there and dominate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Offensively or defensively? You let me know. What's more important week 1 for the Atlanta Falcons? Offense, type O. Defense, type D. If I had to put it right now, based on how I'm feeling today at the time of this recording, it's defense. I really am not worried about Michael Penix Jr., Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, or this Falcons offensive line, to be completely honest, outside of maybe the right tackle position. I have all the faith in the world in this offense. Defensively, you got to go out and make key stops. Let me know in the comment section. Coming up, the Falcons' keys to victory. 4 things the Falcons need to do in order to secure the win. We talked a little bit about what the Falcons have on offense, on defense, and we talked a little bit about the Bucs. Now it's how the Falcons can win. But before we get into that, I have to tell you about today's sponsor, and that, of course, is Factor Meals. As someone who has spent the entire summer planning a wedding, let me tell you, it has been tough to get my meals in, especially as someone who likes to go to the gym and eat healthy. And that's where Factor Meals comes in. Some days, all I've got is a couple minutes, but they help me eat smarter with tasty, chef-prepared meals that are dietitian approved and delivered right to my door. And now with more than 65 weekly meals made for how I live and what I like to eat, I've got even more ways to fit in a real meal wherever the day takes me. You can savor global flavors, and for the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. You can eat smart at factormeals.com/FalconsChat50 off and use code FalconsChat50 off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code FalconsChat50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. I'll have all of that in the comments and description of today's video. So what's our key to victory? Our first key to victory. Michael Penix Jr.'s got to get into a rhythm. You got to come out firing on all cylinders. This was the most important thing that I brought up to Raheem Morris. That was my message to him throughout the entire preseason. I don't mind that you didn't play your starters in the preseason, but you better hope and pray and be prepared week 1 to come out looking sharp. And that, of course, starts with MPJ, the leader of this team, the franchise quarterback. So what does he specifically have to do? Well, believe it or not, it actually comes in the hands of Zach Robinson. He needs to scheme quick throws to start. Get the ball out quickly. Get it in the hands of your playmakers. Check downs to Bijan. Slant routes to Drake London. If Darnell Mooney plays, wide receiver screens, to Darnell Mooney. There are plenty of ways to make sure that that ball comes out 1, 2, 3, drop, throw. It's very, very simple. But you've got to scheme that. You can't have these long, drawn-out plays, 7-step drops, Michael Penix Jr. doing these long, drawn-out play-action bootlegs. Get the ball out quick, and once the Tampa Bay defense comes up, that's when you can air it out. So start with those quick scheme throws to begin with. Our second key to victory, ground and pound with Bijan. So in the event that you can't get the quick game going, right? And you're like, man, they're really coming after MPJ. They're blitzing a lot. Ground and pound with Bijan. You got one of the best running backs in the NFL. Top 3. Easy. And last year proved exactly what we were talking about. This dude almost had 2,000 yards from scrimmage. 15 total touchdowns. Dark horse candidate for MVP last year. Front runner, in my opinion, for it this year. So how do you do it? Smash mouth it. Just pound the rock all day long until that defense plays up. Once they stack the box, take the top off with play action. That's when you can start getting a little bit more creative, a little bit more artsy, a little bit more flowy. But until then, give the ball to your best playmaker. It's Bijan. He's the best player on your offense. It's not close. Give them the ball early, often, always, and just watch everything flow from that. A good ground game will complement a very nice pass game and vice versa. Our third key to victory, defensively speaking. Bend but don't break on defense. I don't think it needs to be said. Tampa Bay has a good offense. They've got too many good players. They've got too good of an offensive line in order to be not taken seriously. They've got a good offense. They will score. However, there is an opportunity now to adopt the bend but don't break mentality, especially when you're inside the 20s. Be smart with your blitz packaging. And when you get inside the 20, rather when Tampa Bay drives inside the red zone, switch to man coverage. Put the pressure on them. Beat them off the line of scrimmage a little bit. No diddy. I know you like that one down there. But my point remains the same. There are ways to be smart and there are ways to be aggressive, but you've got to pick and choose your times to do so. Because if you go man coverage at the 40-yard line, Mike Evans could absolutely torch you. He's been too good for too long. So bend but don't break. Force field goals if you have to. But especially when you're inside the red zone, make sure you lock it up. And then, of course, this is a special teams one. You can't miss in the clutch. I'm looking at Koo. No, not you. Looking at Koo. And the reason I say this is because last year Koo did not do well. It was a disappointing year. I think the leash is short. And that's why Lenny Krieg is currently on the practice squad. He's waiting in the wings. This is your opportunity now to showcase, hey, I realized last year was not so good. Now I'm locked in. And you can't miss in the clutch. Because the difference in these divisional games are so close. The margin for error in these divisional games is so tiny that a missed field goal at any point in the first, second, third, or fourth quarter could be the difference in the ball game. That could be the difference between 24-21 or 20-17 or 27-24. Field goals, special teams play will absolutely matter more in divisional games. And the same goes for the punting unit. Bradley Pinion, you got to be able to flip the field, my friend. All of it works together. It bleeds in harmony as one. So what's your final score prediction for week 1? Give me the Birds, 27-24 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't jinx the video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon. And as always, Falcons fans, rise up and be cool.